Greetings, fellow humans. Welcome back to OpenTTD. We've been making some big changes, largely to our rolling stock in the game. And I will be getting to that in just a moment. But in letting the game spin forward, I've noticed a few little bits and pieces where I want to make some improvements. This whole mess here, I think, can be better. And if it can be better, then why not make it better, is what I say. So what I'm going to do is add another way in, really, to the to this station setup. There we go. And that's what I'm going to be doing here. So this is a little bottleneck. No two ways about it. This is a bottleneck. This is a bottleneck. Yeah, it's not wonderful. I think two ways in here that I think that makes sense. So I think having something like this isn't a bad idea, you know. So we now have two ways into this, and I'm hopeful that will help. But then I realise now we've still got the one way into this, and you know, when I look at that, a big part of me thinks, well, actually, wouldn't it make more sense if, let me just do this, wouldn't it make more sense if actually this bridge here and this bridge here were to work slightly differently? So like if we were to have this bridge here like so, and then have these two maybe just a little further up here, then, you know, you would be able to have a situation something like this. Now that's not great, is it? Because we don't okay, there we go. Something like this. I'm just trying to avoid hard, sharp corners. So I'll have this train come here, then like this, then down to here, then into here. And then I feel like, you know, if maybe this comes across to here and is in like that, then maybe what we have done, fingers crossed, is to improve our way in, and that actually we can do something similar here, and then there we go. Now I realise that in having everything closed for a while like that, we've kind of messed up. But I suppose the other thing to think about is, you know, we're going 2 down to 1 here, and maybe we ought to double up here as well, and at least have 2 tracks come down here that we are able to do, and have a situation here. Now you should stop. Thank goodness for that. There we go. And then as soon as these trains are out of the way, I'll be able to tidy that up a bit more. And this corner here, I think, also is problematic. You know, we are forcing the trains to kind of match. Whereas I think actually maybe doing something like this might be better. And even then, if we come across here, we may also be better having another route up, simply because hills are still hard, you know. Something like that. And if I put this all the way up here, like that, I think that's better. Success? I don't know. I think we shall see. What have I got going here? If I turn you around, there we go. Okay. Getting there. Wow, that's not good though, is it? But that's only because of this. There we go. And then this here is where I think we have the crossovers from each side. And then I think that will improve capacity. Still have this here, this little one spot where, you know, it might be better to do that. Not entirely sure. But that strikes me as better. Yeah, that strikes me as better. I mean, I guess I've messed up this enough now that, I don't know, we shall see. Ah, yes, here was the other point where I felt like there was a bit of a bottleneck. This tunnel here, bottlenecks trains sitting up behind it. Admittedly, you know, we've got some coming down there, but I do also feel like, you know, there might be a better way of going with it. And so let's have a think. I suppose what I was thinking was, would we be able to bridge over? Now then, if we were to bump this up here, like that, could we bridge over here? So sort of from here down to here. And the answer there apparently is yes. So we could, for example, have this like so, and hook that up to there. And then we could join this up to this junction here. Not like that, but like this. And I mean, you know, in all honesty, we could also send it up here. I don't know if I'm just adding needless complexity with this one. I'm just going to undo that. Let's leave that there. And add this back in. Yeah. I think that's pushing the limits, in all honesty, of my ability to do junctions. It's has this helped? It's real difficult to say. Real difficult to say. I would like to think so. It's entirely possible that we're just hitting an absolute limit on things, you know? I mean, it's also feasible that because of all of the works that I've done, that has gummed this up temporarily due to the backlog that needs to be worked through. This whole crossover is maybe not necessary at this point, is it? Not entirely sure. Part of me wonders about having an exclusive line out for this steel track. If we were to extend this sort of round here and down a little, down here, then we could add more platforms to this station, and we could potentially give them their own route out, given that, you know, they don't need to worry about this junction. These steel trains are only heading out this way. Wow, it's busy, isn't it? Isn't it busy? Yes, it is. It's just busy any way you slice it. Yeah. So it's difficult to tell whether the loss making on the trains, which I imagine is still going to be there. Well, trains overall are now doing better than they were last year, which is not much of a surprise. Express freight, well, you know, the program is going through. We are making some changes. Yeah, the process is occurring. Some of these trains have upgraded, some of them yet to do so. The heavy freight, you know, where the majority of it is done at this point. You know, that's really going through, really making a difference. But you know, these trains here, are you steel? Why is steel heavy freight here, but express freight here? Does steel count as express freight? Difficult to say. No, it isn't. It's heavy freight. There we go. Yeah, so, you know, we're a long way through this process of changing the wagons, changing the trains. You know, the majority of our trains here have made that change. And, you know, we lost over 500,000 last year. That's the heavy trains group. And we're, halfway through this year? And our losses are down to, you know, not a terribly low amount. So that's good. The passenger service, well, I think it's fair to say that it's working really well. You know, we got these trains making a profit. I'm just, you know, when they finally actually upgrade trains, that's going to be amazing. One thing to do, I think, with the trains, just as a bit of housekeeping, is going to be sending the trains with. I'm just trying to see, is there a way to do it per cargo type? No, I'm just looking at for trains with 3 engines, basically, to send them back to the depot, because if they're going to be changing, you know, they don't need 3 trains. They definitely don't need 3 trains. They don't need 3 rams bottoms or whatever. Standards, isn't it, that we're changing these to? They do not need 3 standards. 1 would probably be sufficient. So, yeah. what I will do is change these. Am I going to change these from 3s to 1s? I think so. I think, given how few of these trains have changed, I just want to check that the replacing is happening correctly, because everything now should be changing to standards. So this is, yeah, start replacing vehicles to a standard, start replacing to a standard, start replacing to a standard. Yeah, but you know, we've barely done any here. I guess, is it just simply going to be the fact that once the heavy freight trains are going, are still replacing, they're going to happen first because the trains we're replacing to for the heavy freight is cheaper than the passenger trains. I think that's probably the case. So that's probably why this is happening. But yeah, what I am going to do is, this is potentially ill-advised. Potentially ill-advised. I'm going to drop all of these trains down to one vehicle, because I believe that when they are upgraded, that will be the right ratio, and I've set the upgrade in motion already. So yes, I'm going to leave them. Until the upgrade is done, these guys are going to be woefully underpowered, and that's just tough. And I say woefully underpowered. I'm just watching that one going up the hill. He was doing all right. It wasn't great, but yeah, they will be better off, and it will be less work for me in the long run. There we go. Why have I got you open? You don't need to be open. So here we go. You're waiting for a free path. Let's just check on you. I have no idea what you're doing there. Passenger train. You absolute set of numpties. Oh well. I guess this is the problem, isn't it? I've just sent them to a depot anywhere, and yeah, that's not great, is it? I can't imagine how chaotic and catastrophic this has been for my customers. Oh my gosh. Wow. Stop. Turn around. What have I done? What have I done? Oh my gosh, let's pause everything. Okay, oh my god. Okay, let me just finish this, and then I will try and correct this disaster unfolding in front of us. Last one. There we go. Right. Okay. Cluster. Pardon my French. So we got trains coming in that are struggling. I see that. And it's steel trains unable to get in, isn't it? So let's have you come back to here and stop. That should solve the immediate junction issue. Oof. This isn't great, is it? This is not great. Well, we will let that roll for a little bit and see how that goes. Yeah, I think junction chaos is what has been happening. I think it's lots of change all at once. Changing junction layouts, changing train power, and also sending a whole bunch of vehicles to depots that they probably wouldn't otherwise have stopped in. It's the combination of these things that has really sort of messed this up, I would say. Yeah, and things like this gap here is not large enough. I am minded to try and revamp this entire layout. I think what I've tried to do with it is to adjust what I have and work within the constraints of what I have. Whereas actually a better solution may well have been to ditch all of this and start anew with the entrance and exit ways. Potentially that might have been the case. But here we are. It is flowing better. Once we got past that little hiccup, it is flowing better. Yeah. Well, we're going to leave that to run on for a bit. We shall see how that does. Oh no, not that. Finance-wise, that's what I was looking for. Thank you, finance pop-up. Yeah, I think all in all, we've come out relatively well from all of that. It could have been a lot worse. Still a slow upgrade process, isn't it? It's taking its time. You know, we've reduced. Let's have a look. All trains. The trains are making money collectively, and we reduced losses. I think because we were up at over 500,000 losses, and we're now down to 400,000 losses with the heavy freight group. You know, the passengers are making cash for the most part. Some of these trains are now not. Is that simply a capacity thing? Do we have too much capacity now? Oh my gosh. It's possible. I wonder how long this poor train has been sat there. It would look like a significant chunk of time. Still getting these errant passenger services coming down here. Why? You're heading for the Predtown waypoint. What are you doing here? Wow. 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 Yeah, sorry, a little lost for words. I'm just wondering why I've gone so far wrong with these little so-and-sos. Yeah, no idea. It's not like they actually can't get to the waypoint. They can. Is it these? Have they decided they need to route to the nearest? I bet that's it. You know what? I think I can forego those. This station isn't that busy, and I don't mind a depot there after. I'm wondering if they're getting somewhere, somewhere down their route, and they're plotting to the nearest depot. And because they're before the station, they're just going, yeah, that's the nearest depot. They hit the depot, and then they're stuck. So I think that might have fixed that, and that actually the waypoint was unnecessary. An unnecessary waypoint. Well, okay, we've had lots of messing around, lots of change, lots of upgrades of units of various kinds. Well, I never would you look at that. These guys are actually back to making a bit of money again. Who would have thunk it? Let's sort by profit this year. Yeah, the replacement trains with the big capacities, they seem to be doing all right. Could be the way to go. Some of these do look small. Like, you do look like you could carry more steel than that. It's not like there isn't enough steel there for you to carry. Yeah. Well, we'll come back to those. We're still going to let these run their way through. I think we're past the worst of everything now, hopefully. What I am going to do, I had promised we would look at ships. I had promised we would sort out ships, and you know what? I really haven't, have I? Let's have a quick shufty. These ships here, these were down as bulk freight. These express cargo ones, ship 7 and 8 are no longer express cargo. I'm calling them bulk freight. And to be honest with you, bulk freight is really all we should be carrying now, I think. There we go. Where's ship 24? There you are. If freight is truly express, we should not be taking it via the sea, via a waterway of any kind. Fishing boats, they still make sense to me, obviously. I can't really imagine that. Wow. Canley. Look at Canley. Wow. Look at Canley. Wow. That's going to need sorting at some point, but it is not today. Canley, the fishing megalopolis. Yeah. Fishing, it makes sense. The sand dredging sites, it makes sense. But I think everything in the express cargo lot doesn't make sense. Let me just check and see if there are better fishing boats for these. Would that be better? 50 crates of goods. Designed in 1700s. Let's see, it's 170 crates of goods. See, that's just bigger. No, I think they're all right. I'm just going to leave them. This little fishing fleet, there can be like a nice little remnant. Sometimes when I play this game, OpenTTD, and I have upgraded everything to, electric trains or the maglevs or whatever, I like to have a little one windy old route still running old steam trains, because I am odd like that. Okay, so bulk freight, I think we're okay with those. The fishing ships, the 3 of them, just on this little route. Hell, they're making money every year. Why the hell not? These ships, that is what we're going to look at next episode. Next episode will be express cargo ships. Ships to trains. That's what we're going to do. So we'll call that for today. And thanks for putting up with me. As always, thanks for watching. And until next time, take care of yourselves.